And may the hair on your toes never fall out. A toast to you.
I'm gonna put that in my wedding vows, actually.
Honestly, may the hair on your toes never fall out. That's a real one. Mm-hmm. And the way that they all toast, but they toast to, like, Smaug's demise. They're like, curse him, and they all cheers. We gotta do more of that. Bring back, like, a hater's cheer. Like, let's all cheers to the downfall of this person we hate, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I can get behind that. Yeah,
manifest
we're haters.
It.
Yeah, well,
yes. Well, in the spirit of being a hater and a lover and a multifaceted human being with opinions and complexities, we're going to tackle something kind of big.
This is our first, the only other big project I can think of undertaking like this is kind of like, our May months or something like that? Because they have to be, like, decent, but, like, this is actually just, like, a lot of hours.
We do themes here on the Swamp. Yes. Each month we try to pick a loose theme. If you're new, this is not educational. I'm so sorry. If you think you're going to learn anything, like, this is not it. And if you've never seen The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, we're also probably not going to do a great job with, like, plot summary and cohesive, recapping. This is very silly. I described this recently to somebody as our film diary that we just make public.
Basically. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I'm like, this is my film diary and a phone call with my friend that I just put on the internet for some reason, right? So
yeah, whenever I tell people about it, they're like, oh, like, how long have you been doing it? And I'm like, oh, like, we would just get drunk on FaceTime during COVID, and then we were like, let's just record it.
And they're like, you've been doing this for years, and it's still this bad? And I'm like, well...
You still have a liver?
Got me. But so we're going to do The Lord of the Rings, and instead of delving into any live-action hobbitry, we simply must return to what I believe is the best adaptation. I think they did in 77 minutes what Peter Jackson could not do in 10 hours with that fuck-ass 2010s trilogy. So we're going to get into the whole Lord of the Rings as a concept, as a general, but, we're going to take it one movie at a time. So
absolutely.
We're covering the 1977 animated Hobbit today.
We're pulling it way back.
For the following 3 weeks, we will be doing the Peter Jackson trilogy as is, to be expected. So we're doing a big old Lord of the Rings month, bitches. So if that's not your thing, go rewind back, find some old episodes of some movies that you have seen or that you're into that we've covered. But if you're not a fantasy ass bitch, I'm sorry. December is just not going to be for you. But I'm here for it because you've never seen them.
That's what I'm going to say. Give it a shot because I am here watching these for the first time as well. So if you want to have a parasocial movie relationship with me for the month of December, we can watch Lord of the Rings together and you can kiki with me in the morning on your ride to work. So...
And I'm not an expert. I wouldn't call myself like a deep fan of the lore. I've never read any of the books, but I love the movies. I really enjoy them. I try to watch the trilogy as often as the energy in my body will allow because it's draining. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. And that's the reason, like, I've waited so long. I'm 25, never seen The Lord of the Rings, and I'm a movie person, That's one of those ones that it's like, okay, you do have to do your due diligence at some point. And if I was going to do it, I think I had to be sat down and, like, forced to do it because getting involved in a new world is a lot of work. And so that's the one thing that I really appreciated about this choice for this movie. Thank you for putting this in front of me because I would have had to, like, claw my way through if we started, I think, right at, like, The Lord of the Rings. Which I know it's a big time jump and everything like that and different characters, but at least I have, like, a general understanding now of, like, who's who and what are the elves and, like,
A lot of same characters, actually. Gandalf's there, Bilbo's there.
I do know that.
Elrond is there. Like, you're gonna get some old homies popping back up. But yeah, I definitely think this is the perfect, like, soft launch into your foray into Middle-earth, for sure. Yes.
And it's only 77 minutes as opposed to, I'm assuming that, are we gonna do the extended cuts?
No. Probably
Okay.
just the regular.
Okay.
I have the director's cuts. It's because I don't think we're gonna get into that level of nitty gritty as far as like this is not an analysis. This is just our fucking opinions. So I think we can just go bog standard because you can just see the basic theatrical cuts. But I did want to ask, like, what is your history or relationship with this IP in general? Like, have you seen anything?
Nothing. Well, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. I don't know if you recall, but in 2014, you took me to the theater and we sat down and we watched, hold on, what one was it?
The Desolation of Smog?
No, The Battle of the Five Armies.
The third one, okay, work.
Yeah, very specifically. So I had never seen any other Hobbit movies, and I went in knowing nothing and I left knowing nothing because that is just about, I think, the only movie that I've ever fallen asleep in the theater watching.
And arguably that's like the most dog shit of any of them. So the Hobbit prequels, or like The Hobbit is a prequel, obviously, to Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit was a book, of course. Lord of the Rings were books written by J.R.R. Tolkien. I say Tolkien. I think it's supposed to be Tolkien, but I'm going to say Tolkien.
How did he write it? What came first? Lord of the Rings
came first.
Hobbit, okay.
Yeah, The Hobbit came first, and he actually retroactively changed some stuff in The Hobbit after he wrote Lord of the Rings to make them more connected, like names of places and like certain little details. Because he was like, after he had sort of fleshed out the world a bit more, he's like, I just want to make it line up, So he went back. And,
which, like, yeah, that makes sense to me. I get that. I'm not mad about that.
And The Hobbit is like more of a children's book. It's considered to be like young adult or children's literature, even though it is like pretty intense as far as like themes of like violence and war, and it's pretty, complex and world buildy and stuff. But it's supposed to be like, for kids generally. But
are we talking like Narnia-y level?
Yes. Well, yes. So J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, who wrote the Narnia books, were like besties, and they had like a correspondence through their whole lives. Yeah, they actually have a really interesting like relationship through the years. I bet there's like a really dope YouTube video essay on this. I'm willing to bet my life on about like what their whole deal was. But he fought in World War One. J.R.R. Tolkien did. He fought in World War One. He didn't want to be in the war. He was like not into it. And so all of this is kind of based off of his experiences with that and being generally like anti-war and sort of that whole thing. But he wrote The Hobbit first, and then the Lord of the Rings series is then like, it's a very dense, very intense fantasy books that are not for kids. So it's sort of this like a companion prequel situation, but they're also like definitely for two pretty different audiences, which I would say that the movies are as well. Like, this is a children's movie, and the Lord of the Rings movies are very intense, violent adult action films.
Yeah. Well, and it's okay. So it's is it 3 movies for the Lord of the Rings? Is it 3 books and 3 movies based on each book, or how is it broken up? Because is The Hobbit also one book?
The Hobbit is just one book. There are 6 books, but the first 3 are The Fellowship of the Ring, which is books 1 and 2. The Two Towers is books 3 and 4. Return of the King
I see.
Books 5 and 6, and then there's like a bunch of appendices and maybe like fucking other like supplemental material, I think. But I think generally, yeah, it's the movies go with the books, but the books are a little different. You can also buy them, like, I'm sure, like the same way Dune, Dune is book 1 and 2, but you buy Dune together as one. I think it's much like that. But again, I have not read them, so I can't really say. I'm
interested to know because, again, first time seeing any of this, first time watching this movie. Obviously, it's it's a book made for kids. It's a TV movie made for kids. You can definitely tell that there's a lot of trimming of the fat here. And, I could imagine it's just massive what you lose. And I mean, especially considering that Peter Jackson did make 3 full movies based off of The Hobbit. But I mean, I don't know, like,
movies, but they were bad.
Yeah, well, that's my question. Do you think that would you prefer it cut down and all sort of the fat chopped off, or would you have it sort of extended in the way that Peter Jackson probably did? Because it doesn't seem like, from what you're telling me, 3 movies is necessary.
No, so I think absolutely, even though this movie cuts out so much of the book, I'm sure, I think that the kids' movie, the animation, the whimsy captures like the essence of what The Hobbit is, which is a piece of children's media. To extrapolate it and to show the battles and to have it be this really intense 3-part trilogy just isn't the vibe. Like, that's the Lord of the Rings vibe. That's not the Hobbit vibe. So I like that they trimmed this down. I know a lot of like deep lore fans like don't like the stuff that they cut out. But I don't care. You know, it's fun. It's light. There are songs. Give me songs instead of lore. Instead of telling me plots and backstories of characters I don't fucking care about, show me Gollum and riddles. Give me folk songs about goblins and fun animation. Like, that's what I'm here for this one. Because I think we then get the Lord of... I mean, we are, of course, coming from a retrospective 2024... You know, we have the Lord of the Rings already. I didn't think they needed to remake Lord of the Rings as the Hobbit, which is almost what ended up happening. Whereas, like, this, I think it could just be this little standalone thing. But from what I do know, the reason why the live-action I think the first one came out in 2012, maybe?
Yes.
The trilogy with fucking...
Yeah, they really ripped it.
Bendy Dick Cumberbumble as fucking Smaug. Bullshit.
No, I will say, from what I know about it, and I haven't seen them, so I can't say anything, but I obviously am, you know, living in the 21st century, so I'm online and I've seen his performance. But I really appreciated it, and I think that he probably took a good, at least from the way that I interpreted it, I had to think that he took something from whoever did the voice performance for Smaug in this.
Yes, I just love Smaug in this one so much more that
he's I was like a cat dragon. It's awesome. I love his character design.
His cat ears and his like weird furry tail and shit. Yeah, really cool interpretation of a dragon. But from what I understand, the reason why the Peter Jackson Hobbit trilogy movies are so terrible is because Guillermo del Toro was contracted to do these movies.
Makes sense.
He had done years of pre-production, years of planning, years of storyboarding. Yeah, I'm sure it would have been gas. Something, MGM bankruptcy, something, project needed to change hands because of money, something. They just give it back to Peter Jackson and say, we start tomorrow. So he had like no pre-pro planning. So therefore production was such a mess where they were just shooting shit that they had no idea what they were going to do with. And that's why it ended up being sort of this CGI mess, because it wasn't planned well because of money stuff. And so then he was like, I will do my best, but of course, The Lord of the Rings took years to plan.
Well, yeah.
And this is very different. And I think just with new technology, they just relied a little bit too much on CG and shit. And it just ended up being kind of messy and unorganized. And because it was astonishing to me to realize that he had done the Hobbit prequels as well, because I was like, he knocked it out of the park with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, of course. And so I was like, why are these ass? And so I was reading into it and I was like, this checks. Unfortunately, it checks. But you don't need to watch them. You can just watch the 77-minute 1977 fucking... Is it 77 minutes? It's like an hour.
It's a little longer than that. But yeah, something around there. Yeah, no, well, it's so funny because like you said, they just handed him this and said, go crazy. And they came out in like succession 2012, 13, and 14. So they didn't even try to slow it down. It was really entirely just a cash grab, which is obvious, but especially even more now, like Jesus Christ.
And I remember like it snapping into consciousness and like having media literacy cognizance like around at that age. Yeah. Because I remember being like, I want to like this so bad, and yet I cannot. Like the Tumblr community, I remember. Yeah. The fan fiction was going
well,
hard.
Especially with Benedict Cumberbatch attached to that. Like, yeah.
It was, no. It was the fucking dwarves, bitch. It was the dwarves fucking each other. Was the fanfiction, yeah.
Well, I just figured everyone would have loved having him attached, considering that he was,
Sherlock, yeah. Of course. No, it was Balin, Dwalin, Feely, Keely, Dory, Ori, Nori, Owen, Goen, Biffer, Boffer, Bumper, and Thorin Oakenshield. They were those bitches. They were what got...
Apparently...
through the days, store forges, yeah.
Okay, that was the vibe. That totally checks. I mean,
And you know what? They didn't make any of the dwarves fuckable in this movie, and I respect that.
Oh, not a single. I think Smog is kind of fuckable, honestly.
Well, the dragon. I mean,
yeah.
we will play Fuck, Marry, Kill at the end of this episode.
We'll get to it,
as we always do. But they tried to make the dwarves fuckable in the live action version. Some of them
not
they picked like 3. They were like, okay,
sure.
out of 13 of you, 3 will be hot, 1 will be on the edge, and the other ones will be unfuckable. And the Tumblr girl said, absolutely not. They're all fuckable. You know what?
Oh my god!
I'm gonna take your 3 and I'll round it up to 13, bitch.
The girls, I'll tell you what. They were staunch, all right? If they had an opinion on someone's looks, they were not going to fold.
I have seen this movie before, and I am a fan. This is my Hobbit rendition of preference, of course, as we have well established. I think the animation is beautiful.
Stunning.
It's crunchy, chunchy, whatever. I love it. I don't care.
Well, I think that we grew up with similar sort of styles. I mean, obviously, we're like 98, 99 babies. But I know, like, I grew up watching, like, A Year Without a Santa Claus, because that's the shit that was, like, on ABC and CBS. And also, like, the shit that
this is the same production company?
Oh, well, let me get into it. Because I fell down a real rabbit hole on this one. It's not exactly the same company, I don't believe so, that did Year Without a Santa Claus, but they do have a couple of overlapping ones. It's like the precursor to Year Without a Santa Claus or something like that.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yes, exactly. So they did, so
the claymation ones, you know, the general claymation TV movie of the 60s.
Yes,
vibes.
Yes, so claymation ones, Frosty the Snowman is also a notable one. Also a good chunk of, like, comic book sort of things, like He-Man and She-Ra. Also one of note, The Flight of the Dragons. There's a couple of people that were on this team who went on to work on a handful of Naruto, and also just so many, like, different video games and things like that. Along with another notable mention, one of the people on this team went on to do the art production for Kill Bill, which is really cool. But yeah, can I get on my soapbox or can I stay on my soapbox for a minute?
Please.
Okay,
please.
So because this was really cool, actually, going down into this rabbit hole. The company that did this is called Topcraft and Company, and this is all basically coming from, like, Wikipedia straight. But it was
Wikipedia. The
Wikipedia, yes, thank you.
Give them your dollar. Stay in business.
But, yes, established in 1972 by animator and producer Toru Hara, and it was all coming out of Japan. Famous for, I'm gonna butcher this. I can't even say it. Something of the Valley of the Wind, 1984. I don't know. I'm not gonna pronounce it well. But essentially what ended up happening is in 1980 something or so, they went bankrupt, split into 2 different teams. All right. One went on to become called Pacific Animation Company, which did these things shows called, like, Thundercats and Silverhawks. Of course, ends up getting bought out by the mouse eventually and became their Japanese branch of animators. But the other half that split off and went off with Toru Hara, he became the founder, he became Studio Ghibli's first manager. And so, like, half of the team that did this ended up being, like, some of the first animators and producers for Studio Ghibli, basically.
So that's why it looks fucking great.
Yeah, exactly, because these people worked on, you know, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, Grave of the Fireflies, Castle in the Sky, all that shit. So,
of course.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff, and obviously Miyazaki got involved and everything like that. He wasn't on this team, to my knowledge, but yeah, really cool stuff. I mean, one of my things that the whole reason that I even got into looking into this was because I really loved the way that the spiders looked in this.
Yes.
Loved them, and it really brought me back to the way that the old Scooby-Doo animations used to look. Specifically,
the Hex Girls.
Hex Girls. I was gonna say Ghoul School. There's this one character
Old
from that
school.
one, which is really old school. Yeah, one of the really, really old, early ones. It's like red shirt Shaggy, so like one of the first ones. Yeah. But so, yeah, loved that. But I will say, one of these producers did work on Scooby-Doo, Where Is It?
Oh my god, and did you trace the lineage from the spider storyboards to the Ghoul School? Because that's some red line.
No, they didn't.
Some Pepe Sylvia shit. Like
they didn't work on Ghoul School, but it was what is it, like this werewolf one, Scooby-Doo. Oh fuck!
I love that you're like, why does this feel nostalgic even though I've never seen it? And you're like, okay, wait, Year Without a Santa Claus,
yes,
plus Studio Ghibli plus Scooby-Doo equals why am I feeling this way? Like that checks.
But it was the old school Scooby-Doo movie. What is it? Oh, Zombie Island. Island.
Cute. And we are so freaking back. What's up, Jen? It's been a minute on the swamp since you've been here. And it's been a minute since the swamp was of any quality. We've been slacking lately. We've been busy. It's the holidays. But you know what? All is fair in swamp and swamp. So we're glad you're here. We're all doing great. We're here to do Chocolate or Vanilla, your interim podcast segment where you're going to say two things. We're all just going to say which one we like better. Is there a theme this week? And also, hi, how are you?
I am pretty good. And the theme is just music. So
Slay.
This is all music that's on my Spotify playlists somewhere.
Work.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
And we're just doing straight song v song.
Yep, song v song, and there is like theme within a theme because each one is from the same playlist, so the two of them kind of go together. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, this is a PSA. If anyone out there is a copyright lawyer and can help me, I would love to add clips of these songs when Jen does Chocolate or Vanilla. Like, I would love a little snippet or something. But can someone just tell me definitively? I don't think I'm allowed to use anything, right? Like, I don't want to do it and then have our shit get taken down. That's why I never have in the past.
We'll have to pay for it.
But if someone can cite me illegal, we'll have to pay.
Yeah, from what I remember, it's just no matter what, we'd end up having to pay.
You don't want to pay for these songs, by the way. There are some big names here. Big names.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. But if somebody has a loophole, if somebody has like we make no money, we have only like 10 people listen to this, who's gonna sue? But if there's like
I think there's like a certain amount of time that you can use before, but I'm not exactly sure. So I feel
like I've looked into that, and then even then sometimes not chill. So but it may be the artist themselves has to like reach out or something.
Yeah, it's just a process probably.
I thought you were going to do a PSA if anybody wants me to make them a music mix.
Oh my god, I would love a Jen's music mix for Christmas.
So true though. Jen's actually pretty much a pro. I'm making a playlist for the function because she'll think of everyone who's going to be there and she'll add a little song just for that she knows that person
so
likes.
Sweet.
So we'll be at like a function. I'll hear my ears will start perking up. I'm like, oh, Jen added this for me. Thank God. Love it. And then I'm always guessing. I'm like, who did she have in mind when she added this one? I wonder. Who's the Chris Daughtry fan in the group?
Oh
like,
my god, yeah.
What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
I'm gonna go vanilla this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go vanilla because I have been picking vanilla more than chocolate lately.
Wow, the tides are turning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, You Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who, or It Feels Like the First Time by Foreigner.
I feel like neither of these songs are like tickling my brain, but I think I would typically pick The Who over Foreigner as a whole. So I guess I will go with The Who on this one.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that statement, but I also don't know this song in general. I think that my taste is probably just more Who than Foreigner. So I'm gonna have to go Foreigner though, I guess, because that's the only song I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Foreigner because they were super big when I was in high school. And it feels like the first time they did at the a cappella battle on Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I bet.
Right?
Oh my god, of course.
Next one is Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon or Single Ladies by Beyonce.
Oh my god. What is it? Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby?
Yeah, right.
It's like literally, I'm sorry, who? And then Beyonce.
Yeah,
like
right.
it's Beyonce. I'm sorry, Walk the Moon, who I saw at Boston Calling in freaking 2014 or some shit. Apologies to this man, but I could pass him on the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Miss Beyonce's taking it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not going for the Target commercial song. I'm going Single Ladies on this.
Yeah, Single Ladies for the sweep, of course. Iconic. Next one.
Kurt Hummel in his basement with the Cheerios doing Single Ladies specifically, please.
Tina and Brittany.
Yes, Tina and Brittany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And his dad
Clocked
walked in.
Clocked me on my Glee lore just then.
Yeah, Dara.
I know,
Tina
in front
was
of these
not
two.
a Cheerio.
Shouldn't even try it.
Next one is Cruel Summer by Bananarama or Summer of 69 by Bryan Adams.
I don't know if I know Cruel Summer by Bananarama, but
you would know
I certainly know
heard it.
Summer of 69, so I shall be picking her.
Yeah, same reasoning, same logic. I'm going with Dara's choice as well.
Yeah.
What is Bananarama's most famous song? What's the one that I would know by them?
I feel like this might be it. This was on the Karate Kid soundtrack. Yeah. And I will go.
Actually, I'm looking at a list of their most popular songs, and I don't know any of them. So
they were
apologies.
also on. They were on. We Are the World. Remember that one?
Of course.
Yeah. They were on that.
Who
and then
wasn't?
I'll pick.
If you weren't invited to We Are the World, then that was a
slight,
bigger sign. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Summer 69 because fun question to ask people. Who was your first concert? And mine was Bryan Adams.
Fair enough.
Ooh, work.
Yeah. And
who was yours, Emily?
I think hers is Someone Good. Right?
No, I think it was Hannah Montana and the Jonas Brothers.
That is really good.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a pretty iconic one. I definitely, me and a good chunk of girls our age can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about you? What was yours? Wait, no, I know yours. Maybe I don't.
Mine goes from 0 to 100. If you count the first one, we popped by a bar where the band Flogging Molly, who are an Irish punk band, were playing. And we were there for a couple of songs, and I was present, and I do remember it. But then my first official concert, I went with you and your family, and we saw Fleetwood Mac, and it was iconic.
Yeah. I will say I am very blessed to have the mother that I have had, because she's made it a thing to make sure that I see all the good big guys before they all die. So, yeah. She
said, "Oh, Billy Joel farewell tour, we're there.
Elton John there. Rolling Stones already got the tickets. Yeah, no. Shout out Jean for keeping me cultured."
Next one is chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Chocolate.
I'll stick vanilla right now.
I'll go vanilla. You Got the Right Stuff by New Kids on the Block, Bye 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 by NSYNC, or I Want You Back by Jackson 5.
Oh, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5.
Yeah. I'm a big Jackson 5 girl.
Mm-hmm. Motown. You love Motown.
Love Motown.
Yeah, that is a banger song. I love that song. I will go with Jackson 5 too, but I did see New Kids on the Block down in DC with my girlfriends, and it was really fun.
I bet.
Next one is Love Shack by the B-52s or Paradise City by Guns N' Roses.
Ooh, Love Shack. I went to an academic summer camp where we lived out of college when we were in 8th and 9th grade, and we took little college classes over the summer. It was for nerds, but they had dances. But since all of us were so awkward, all the dances kind of had to be choreographed. So it was the big ones like YMCA and shit. But then they're we're running out, so they would make up choreo for us to learn specifically to Love Shack. That I'm pretty sure if put in a trance, my muscle memory could lock it out to this day. Also love the B-52s. Rock Lobster, I think, might be my most played song of the year on Spotify this year, perhaps.
Good.
When Wrapped hits, she's in the top 100 every year. For sure.
Yeah.
Every time summer comes around, I'm like, let's put on Rock Lobster.
Under the
Everybody
dock.
had matching towels. It's so good. It's the best karaoke song too, because you can kind of just say it. Down. Like, you do not have to sing.
Yeah, taking a real Trixie stance on this one.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go with B-52s as well. They're just so camp. I feel like if any gay person is given this question, it's the B-52s. You have to.
I am with you guys. B-52s for the sweep. Next one, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone by Bill Withers, or That's the Way I've Always Heard It Should Be by Carly Simon.
I don't know that second one, but
yeah,
I'll pick Bill Withers. What is it? Just the Two of Us by Bill Withers. That will also be on my top 100 this year for Spotify. That has one of the best saxophone solos, perhaps on the market.
Yeah. I'm gonna go, Ain't No Sunshine. I fucking love that song.
Yeah, me too. Getting a lot of sweeps here, by the way, you guys. Next one is Red Solo Cup by Toby Keith, or Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner.
Oh my God, speaking of Glee, Red Solo Cup. No, Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama is seared into my mind a way no other song quite is, because for some reason it was like fairly hard on Guitar Hero, but not like Through the Fire and Flames hard, but it was like fairly hard, and I could shred it to the point where I could like do it backwards and with my eyes closed and shit, like big party trick energy. And I wasn't even really good at Guitar Hero otherwise. I could just do that one song like fucking ripped. And like I was like, oh, this, I'll make friends because of this, right? Like, absolutely the fuck not, girl. But
I don't know, man. I have the those exact same memories seared into my brain because I was there.
Well, yes.
So yeah. You at least clocked me and pulled me in. So I guess I'll go Sweet Home Alabama. As iconic as that Glee performance of Red Solo Cup is.
That's my cup, saying what's up to my cup.
No, they did Red Solo Cup on a different episode, the one where they drink.
Sam sings it.
Oh, nice.
The one where they're all drinking for the first time. Oh my God, again with the Glee lore.
It was not in Blame It on the Alcohol season 2 episode 14, I think 12, something like that. I don't know.
Sam sings it though. I could have told you that. But what's up, saying what's up to my cup. That is trumps all. If we're offering, say what's up to my cup.
Yeah, of course.
She takes it.
I will go with Red Solo Cup though. Next one, Genie in a Bottle by Xtina, or 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies.
It's been 1 week. Look at me. Why do I feel like we listened to so much Bare Naked Ladies growing up in our household?
I don't know any Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh my God, they do some of the songs in Coraline, like Coraline's dad, who's like making up, but that's the energy.
Okay. That makes sense.
Chicken the China, the Chinese chicken, questionable. Yes. That's Bare Naked Ladies as well.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess I'll go Bare Naked Ladies then.
Yeah, me too. I'll go BNL. Next one, Wake Me Up Before You Go by Wham, or We Built This City by Jefferson Starship.
Wham notably passed Mariah Carey today on the Christmas charts. What's the Wham song? Last Christmas by Wham surpassed Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You on the charts, like for the first time ever in history or some shit. I saw a tweet about
That's fucking huge, actually.
Giving Wham their flowers today.
Oh yeah, let's go. I'll go Wham for this one as well.
This for me is picking between two of my high school friends, because Kathy loved George Michael and my friend Joey D used to just break out into We Built This City for no reason.
Love.
So just because I got his Christmas card today, and there is no way he's ever going to be listening though, Joey D, We Built This City just for you.
Shouts out Joey D.
Yes.
The only reason I know that song is because of New Girl. If you're a New Girl fan, there's a plot line where Schmidt used to be overweight, and they said we built this Schmitty on Tootsie Rolls, and that is what that song is to me. It's just a joke in New Girl.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So next one is Sail by AWOL Nation, or Good Life by One Republic.
Oh my god, you're clocking into my freaking middle school iPod shuffle right now.
Really?
As a 2012 cat meme girly, as a social currency was cat memes in the day, and the cat jumping to the tune of Sail, that got bitches cleared. Like that.
Absolutely.
That got me more friends than Leonard Skinner for sure.
Yeah.
I was always hot on the memes because I was on Tumblr and everyone else wasn't on Tumblr, and the memes always came from there first, you know? Hot on the pulse. Yeah,
you were the first one who like really like sat down and said, I'm gonna figure out this format. I'm gonna go Sail as well. I recently rewatched that episode of Fleabag with that iconic scene, so
Sail.
I'll go with Sail also. Next one is Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen, In the Mood by Glenn Miller, or the Feather theme from Forrest Gump.
Oh my god, not the Feather theme from Forrest Gump.
This, by the way, is from my music mix, RIP, for my dad. He loved all three of these songs.
Aww.
I have a music mix from when I used to drive him around in the car, and I kept it.
RIP.
To his doctor's appointments. Rest in peace, Beepa. I called my grandpa Beepa. We all did. And
that's my
husband Henry one time was like, "Are you guys like Italian or some shit? Like, why are you calling him Beepa?" And I'm like, "We just couldn't say grandpa when we were little. We said Beepa." It was like, that's just a thing. I don't know. Weird white people shit, you know, Mima
Classic.
and Beepa. It's, you know. But I'll have to go specifically Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen, but I really like the Lucy Dacus version, me personally. But I like the Bruce Springsteen version as well. And Jeremy Allen White, ? We'll have to see.
What were my other options besides Dancing in the Dark?
In the Mood by Glenn Miller, or the Feather theme from Forrest Gump.
I'm gonna go In the Mood by Glenn Miller. That's a classic, and that's one of my favorites to like come back to and drum.
That's standard.
All right, just to round it out, I will go for the Feather theme, so we can all pick one. But oh my gosh, if we were at a wedding and Dancing in the Dark came on, my dad would like run onto the dance floor. Yeah,
dementia ridden, not a brain cell left. Yet Bruce Springsteen, he would clock that
every word.
He would know. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't know my name, but he knew Bruce's name. Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough.
Next one is Defying Gravity from Wicked, or Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen.
Fuck Dear Evan Hansen. Are you fucking kidding me? Again, hydrogen bomb coughing baby. Are you kidding me? I saw somebody say, which I completely agree. I haven't seen the Wicked movie yet, but obviously I've listened to the soundtrack and I know the iconic Cynthia Erivo take on the, Defying Gravity riff that we all have been hearing memed a lot lately. And somebody's like, wouldn't it have been cuntier if they withheld that from all the marketing?
Yes.
So then the first time you get to hear her do her Alphaba like battle cry is in the movie theater, or like if you choose to listen to the soundtrack. Or like, why were they putting that at the end of the trailers and shit? Like, save that. That's the big, especially because she did kind of her own thing on it too.
Agreed. I thought that was really strange that they rolled it out. And I mean, I recently sat down and I actually saw Wicked, so it does still hit in the theater, but it would have hit 10 times harder, dog. Yes.
If I didn't know, right? My favorite video is the one of her in Target. This is shouts out to my friend Kevin, who loves this video. It's this Target commercial where Cynthia Erivo, everyone's like singing the riff kind of badly, and then Cynthia Erivo comes in and like shows everyone how to do it. But there's this one version that's slowed down like by 1,000%, so it's just her like like forever, and it's all distorted and grainy, and it's so funny. I'll link it in the description below.
That video went around Friendsgiving,
cracking my shit up. And like somebody will start doing the Wicked riff, but then my friend Kevin will come in with the slowed down, like perfect on pitch, slowed down Cynthia Erivo in Target riff. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys for Defying Gravity. Also, an amazing Glee moment.
Classic.
Next one, Hakuna Matata from Lion King, or You're Welcome from Moana.
I feel like I just respect The Lion King as an entity, except they're doing bullshit sequels to those both right now in the theaters, actually. So, like, I don't respect Disney's creative IPs for fucking anything these days. Like, that shit is, they're just, like, wringing it out until it's so fucking over. Like, it just makes me... it makes me furious.
It's exhausting. It's truly exhausting.
But I will say, in the moment when it hit, Hakuna Matata was just more influential, more iconic, more groundbreaking than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson telling people they should be allowed to sing in the fucking movie theater. He said that. Him and Cynthia Erivo both were like, people can sing. No! I'm telling you right now, you can whisper, you can even do a giggle. Do not sing in the movie theater. Do that at your house. Or they have showings now, like sing-along showings. A lot of movie theaters do that nowadays.
One. Don't be that guy, though.
Go find one on a Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Literally, yeah.
Without like little kids. No, for real.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Hakuna Matata on this one as well.
All right, I'm going to go with You're Welcome because I love that song. I think I've told a story about one of my patients wouldn't do any exercises until we sang that song at every treatment.
So you're like, I know the lyrics. You're like, I know the rap. I know the breakdown. I know the chorus. The interlude.
Yeah, we sang it loud and proud, she and I. Next one is Run the World, Girls by Beyonce. Straight Up, Paula Abdul, or Girl on Fire, Alicia Keys.
Beyonce, once again, is simply taking this cake.
Agreed.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Beyonce, although I love Alicia Keys.
Paula Abdul.
Again,
Paula in there. You're throwing Paula to the wolves, Jen.
Yeah, Jen.
This is from my girl power mix, by the way.
Nice.
Next one is September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, or You Make My Dreams Come True, Hall & Oates.
Oh, two great ones. Jen and I were supposed to see Hall & Oates, and then COVID happened, and then the concert got delayed, and then Hall & Oates broke up forever. Yeah. So
forever.
Rip to that. Rip to us. So fuck you, Hall & Oates. I didn't even get to fucking see you. So I'll pick, what was the first one?
September.
September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Of course.
Yeah, I'll go September as well.
Yeah, me too. This is the last one. And this is my play mix when I asked people to pick a song they thought Gary would like, by the way. Sister Golden Hair, America, or With or Without You, U2.
Sister Golden Hair by America, when, like, as soon as the temperature breaks 65 and you can, like, drive with all your windows down, you're, like, not on a highway, but you're, like, on, like, some back roads and shit. Well, I guess highway also works, but, you know, driving with the windows down when you're going fast is a way different vibe than when you're, like, rocking a steady 45 or some shit. Yeah. Like, that's just more of a vibe. So, gotta go with America. Wind in my hair. Never do I feel so fucking patriotic.
Agreed. Sister Golden Hair for me as well. Fuck you, too.
Yeah,
fuck you too for downloading that fucking album onto my phone.
I will go with Sister Golden Hair also. Although the U2 songs I like the best are Beautiful Day and Stuck in a Moment. You got to get yourself together. You got stuck in a moment you can't get out of. That one, I like that one.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is it for a bunch of stuff from my Spotify playlists.
Hell yeah. Right before the Wrapped. Yeah.
Hopefully, I was just about to say, hopefully Wrapped is out. I'm doing a meme for my work, and my boss keeps being like, Dara, where's the meme? And I'm like, the Wrapped isn't out yet. I can't make the meme based on the Wrapped if the Wrapped isn't out. And I'm like, what the heck? It's come out late November, or this is the latest it has ever been. And I'm like, I do not know what to tell you. They're delaying it on purpose to delay me.
I got messages from my Wrapped for 2022 and 2023 recently. They're like, do you want to listen to your Wrapped from 22 and 23? I'm like, no, I want this year's.
Oh, bitch, I want the new one. I want the new one. We will report back in once the Wrapped is out. We'll all report back in with who our top artists are. Do we have any predictions? What do you guys think yours will be?
I know mine's going to be Greta Van Fleet. That's for sure.
Which is wild that yours might be and mine will not be.
Yeah.
So that's hilarious.
Who will yours be, Dara?
I don't know. It was Hozier last year. It might be Hozier again this year. But also, I've been listening to a lot of Supertramp randomly. Went on a deep Supertramp kick like in the summer, so I might have racked my numbers up. My friend Rachel had a baby, and she's like upset that the music she plays for her baby is gonna influence her Spotify rap. She's like, the freaking Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme song is gonna be my number one.
Suck.
She's like, I don't even get my real statistics. I get my baby's statistics.
That does suck.
That happened to me the year I drove people to a bunch of appointments. They were like, we think you might like Frank Sinatra, My Way. But no, mine is definitely going to be, I am one of the top 0.00001% of listeners of the script. I love the script. And I am always their top listener. So.
Hell yeah, Jen.
There should be, if you're in the 0.01 or higher, I feel like you should get a discount code for like their shows or something. I always felt like they did those stupid little personalized videos last year where they were like, thanks. I'm like, no, give me a fucking 20% off your merch or some shit, right? Like, reward me for being in the upper echelon of your fans. It could, how many people could it really be? 100?
Yeah, should we do that?
A pre-sale code for your tickets or something.
Should we do that? We'll start sending out personalized videos if you.
Oh my god!
Swamp makes your wrapped.
Yeah, if you post your swamped wrapped on your Instagram story,
or whatever they do this year, whatever fucking bullshit they do.
Yeah,
which we don't know because it hasn't come out yet, but. All right. Well, John, we love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for cranking some tunes in our mind's ear, if you will. I love you.
I love you guys so much.
We'll see you next week.
All right. Have an awesome night.
Bye, Jen. But yes, no, so put some fucking respect on the Hobbit 1977, god damn it.
No, because I try. Some people are not into this. Some people do not like it.
Which is crazy to me. Like, yeah, it's like silly and stupid, but it's literally like perfect movie to like sit down, hit your bong twice to, and just go crazy.
Or like it is also so perfect to like put on as you fall asleep if you need like a, I don't need to be too involved in the plot. We can sort of disassociate, yet it's like so comforting. If you kind of phase out for a little bit and phase back in, it's okay because the same thing basically happens like 4 times, right? Where they like encounter an enemy and then Bilbo gets them out of it, but not really, and then they also do it, and then they escape. Right, and then they escape, and that happens like 4 different times, like with basically the wood elves, and then with the spiders, and then because that's how it's a book meant. It's based on a book meant for kids, right?
Children,
so it's as Bilbo is growing, you see how he deals with these similar situations in a different way each time because we're learning lessons, right? Fucking duh. But you're gonna get on your production soapbox. I'm gonna get on my fucking spider soapbox right now.
Please tell me.
Because I was obsessed with the Gollum character design, first of all, because we all know the classic Andy Serkis as Gollum in the live action movies. I think is so iconic that I love that this is so different, that he's like a weird like lizard guy,
well, I mean, to me at least personally, it seemed really obvious that they based him off of giant like river otters. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get that?
That is what he looks like. Yeah, okay. With the mouth specifically. And like
it was the eyes, in my opinion, but yes.
Like the glassy, like gray eyes too. Like still keeping it sort of fun and kid friendly, but like that edge of creepiness where it's like a little creepy, but not like scary. Because Gollum, Andy Serkis Gollum is fucking scary. I have a friend who has a son who's like 3 maybe, and he loves Gollum, and I'm like, you little
really?
I'm obsessed with you. I'm like, that is awesome that you're 3 and you love Gollum, because I specifically remember being really scared of Dobby as a little kid. Dobby from Harry Potter. I did not like the way he looked, and then I also remember feeling that kind of same way about Gollum, like, oh, that's not right. Like, I did not like that.
Yeah.
But I want to get on my spider soapbox because Gollum, in that scene, Gollum calls Bilbo an Attercop, Attercop. I had subtitles on, and so that's a word I don't know.
Who are you? Okay, brush it aside. But then, later, Bilbo calls the spiders Attercops. So I was like, clearly an insult. We're saying it twice. I need to Google it. And interestingly, Attercopus was an extinct fucking kind of arachnid
which they were just like nasty, and I'll send you a picture, but it kind of looks like something in between like a spider and like a scorpion almost. But they're an extinct species of arachnid. So basically, Gollum says to Bilbo, "You're a nasty little spider," meaning you're like an ill-natured person. Like to call someone like a spider or a snake. So he says, "Okay, Attercop." He says, "Okay, you little spider." And then Bilbo says to the spiders, "You're a fucking extinct species of spider." And then he proceeds to kill them. So Attercop used both colloquially as like you're a nasty spider, but then to a spider being like, "I'm gonna extinguish your fucking species." Obsessed. That's what I got out of this watch primarily. I'm incorporating Attercop in my day-to-day. You cut me off in traffic, fucking Attercop, you're an extinct ass spider. You're nothing to me. Okay?
I was going to say, we said at the top of the episode that this is not going to be educational, but I do feel like we've got a good couple of bits in here. My last one is that I will say that I want to just point out that one Mr. Orson Bean, who voiced Bilbo in this, is one Mr. Dr. Lester from our recent favorite, being John Malkovich.
Oh!
Mm-hmm. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Would have never clocked that in
of course. Well, yeah, why would
years.
you? No, I was just really like truffle hunting on the IMDb this week, so
sniffing them out. Because sometimes when you have to do it, well, we don't have to do anything, but sometimes when you do an hour-long podcast on a movie that's not much longer than an hour, you're like, how is this going to work? Well, we are going to talk about which dwarves we want to fuck, so that's about an hour in itself.
Exactly,
honestly.
yeah. And the plot is, just, like you said, same thing 4 times.
Right.
5 armies show up, one right after the other. There's a battle. We don't see it.
Because
everything
Bilbo
is
says, "I'm out of here." He puts on his ring and says, "Sorry, I hit my head.
Yeah.
I'm out. Peace."
And then everything ends up hunky-dory.
Well, no. Half the dwarves die.
That's true.
Dies, but
That's
Bilbo
true.
gets the ring and goes home. So it's like, is everything okay? Because they like fought all that so that Thorin could be the king under the mountain again, and then he fucking dies at the end. So what even was it all for?
I don't know, man.
It's for Bilbo to get the ring, so that we have an excuse to place the ring in the Shire at the beginning of Lord of the Rings. Well, yes, of course.
Yes.
That's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, it's like all fun and games, so I don't care what you cut in the middle. That's why I like,
exactly.
I'm like, down to Goblin Town?
I know, that's
yes. Right. Well, yes.
Yeah,
the songs in this go so hard. I'm so obsessed with all, like, the folk music and shit.
Not only were my eyes thrilled, but so were my ears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like stimulating in such a way where it's like it's not too much, but it is a lot, but like in a good way.
It's that's the only reason we survive the same plot being used over and over is because they throw a different song behind it every time, and you're like, wait.
You're like,
hold on.
I don't care.
Shake my hips.
There's like almost no difference between the goblins, the trolls, and the wood elves.
All
like
the same.
Objectively, all kind of the same. But
yeah, character design just a little bit different. One's bigger than the other, basically.
Like, the trolls are big and turn to stone. The spiders are spiders. The wood elves are also
thin and gray
for some reason. Oh my god, the plot where like they take them into prison and Bilbo's like, I searched for weeks. I was like, weeks?
Yeah, right?
Weeks? It took you weeks to put them in barrels down the river?
I truly do love that tidbit, because, like, time in this is so fucked, because you have that, and then at the same time, like, right at the end of the movie where all of the 5 armies are coming together,
and
it
then
happens,
a war happens.
One right after the other. Like, not a single moment in between.
Smash cut, Bilbo decided not to pay attention, so neither do you, and straight to the end. Honestly,
Bilbo
me too, buddy.
Fucking useless.
Bilbo took a nap behind a rock, and I get it. No, but Bilbo is not useless, because honestly...
That's the whole thing, is his journey and him figuring it out and becoming smart and courageous.
I think if you're feeling any sort of imposter syndrome, right, or like... imposter syndrome at your job, or like overwhelmed, or like fulfilling certain expectations, fulfilling big shoes, whatever, watch this fucking movie, because this movie tells the truth, and it's all about some man shows up and says, my name is Gandalf and that is me, you're coming with me,
literally,
and you're gonna
literally smells you smoking your za and says, girl, you're coming with me.
Me, when I take a step out onto my porch for a little smoke and then a wizard accosts me and makes me get a job, like,
Of course,
I fucking wish.
Yeah, when the wizard from down the street comes around with his big swinging dick
and says,
what are you to do?
I brought my 13 friends who are going to need a place to stay tonight, and also you're hired. For what?
Yeah.
Whatever I fucking say, bitch. And basically, Gandalf is like, you're gonna be a burglar. And Bilbo's like, burglar? Burglar? I've never burgled a thing. And he's like, don't worry about it. You fucking got this. And every turn where, it's usually Thorin is sort of our foil character to Bilbo. He's the head of the dwarves. And he's kind of like, I doubt you. And Bilbo's always like, but look, I can figure out a problem. He's like, look at this map. Just look at the map. Duh, the map says what to do. Or he's like, just ask people for help. Figure shit out. Do a riddle. Solve a problem, get a ring, you know, it's
call it a day, one after the other. Like, we are moving ahead. We are not going back. We are not looking back to the Shire, baby. We're writing a book on our adventures.
Right there and back again. What did he call it? A Hobbit's not a diary. He called it something silly in this, because he called it something different in the other books. I also love at the very end where he's like, at least I have this ring, and Gandalf goes like, ha, ha, ha. Like he has this like really stiff laugh of like he's like, maybe my family members will have something to do with it, and it's like very like foreboding, and it's like, oh,
Gandalf's like, you have no idea, bitch.
And but yeah, I don't know, imposter syndrome. You're just Bilbo doing your burgling, you know? You're gonna figure that shit out. You're gonna get in there and say to Smaug, I'm Bilbo the Barrel Seekin, when he's given himself all those titles. He got
real cocky and shit. That's
me
for
beefing up my resume. That's me taking my work experience and saying that it is much more than it actually is. Soft skills, bitch. Soft skills, they're soft for a reason. You can make them up, okay? Interpersonal conflict resolution. Who's going to call you on that? Well, who's to say?
Who's to say?
I can't tell you to rely on your resume, but I am telling you that you can apply to jobs that say that the requirements are way higher than what your qualifications are, because usually they might hire you anyways. I don't know. The job market's not great, though, so maybe also keep that in mind.
That's for sure.
Don't take my advice.
I don't know. Should we get into the classics? Should we get into our regular sketch?
Yeah, I guess so. So if we want to play Fuck, Marry, Kill, I think this is. Do you just want to do the whole movie? And like, are we?
Well, should we Bilbo, Gandalf, and Thorin?
Thorin, yeah.
Thorin,
okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I have to fuck Gandalf. Look at that nose. I'm gonna marry Bilbo. Right. Look at that house. Hobbit hole. And then I'll kill Thorin. Does not interest me.
I am not usually one to say this, but Bilbo is too nice. I'm not interested. I'm bored. Honestly.
I just want that Hobbit lifestyle, though. Like,
that's fine. I can find a cooler bitch to give me a cooler house. That's for sure. That's true.
Where does Gandalf live? Show me that.
Exactly, which is why I'm gonna marry him. And then I'll fuck. What's his name? Thorin. Yeah.
Thorin Oakenshield.
Yeah, he got a big nose too.
Thorin Oakenshield, King under the mountain, the lonely mountain, Erebor, bitch.
I can get down with that.
Anyways. He's dead anyways. Reclaim his throne.
Yeah.
Okay. Queen under the mountain.
There we go.
I think.
There you have
it. Speaking of queens, there is actually a new Lord of the Rings movies hitting theaters this month. I believe December 12th. Yes, it's animated. It's a Japanese animated. So very akin to this movie having its roots in some Studio Ghibli production. Yeah. I think it comes out December 12th, but I think I might want to see it. But it's called The War of Rohirrim, which is all about, like, it's another prequel about the Rohan, which is a thing that comes up in Lord of the Rings that you'll eventually learn about, but it's like sort of this other group of people from a different part of Middle Earth, and it's like about a conflict that happened there a while ago, but it's like anime. It's like beautiful Japanese animation, and it's a story about a woman. Wild. They don't usually do that.
Get down with that.
They don't usually do that with Lord of the Rings IP.
No.
So I'm kind of interested in seeing it. I'm sure. I have been of the mindset that, like, when I like something, I don't always need a more of that thing, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel a lot with these reboots, these remakes, these TV spin-offs. I'm like, if you like the Harry Potter movies, you probably just want to watch the Harry Potter movies. You don't want to watch some new fucking bullshit remake TV show, whatever. You're just clinging onto that original magic. Again, cash grab. We said it. We'll say it again. We'll say it before.
Yeah, well, it's just, like, I don't know. It's, like, this whole thing of the reboots, there's a reason that fan fiction exists, right? Let it have its space, because it feels like it's encroaching on that, almost. We don't need this, constant, what's the word? Like, just hit of dopamine.
Bombardment, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
Or just, like, we can, like, let something be. And if people want to go and have their fun with it in another extended capacity, there are channels for that. It's okay. And there are communities, too. Like, girl, I was having a blast reading my One Direction fan fiction in 2012, okay?
I was having a blast reading One Direction fanfiction yesterday. So, no, but and oftentimes it is those communities that the work is actually more interesting, because these reboots and remakes are just trying to re-emulate the success of the first one.
And it's not done by people who give a shit.
Exactly. But so in that same vein, sometimes when something is just like, there's so much of it that I'm like, it's almost detracting. And that's kind of how I felt where there's a Amazon Prime original TV series.
I was going to ask,
And a lot of people, from the criticism I've read, is that season 1 is not great and kind of slow and didn't make a great impact, but that season 2 really like picks up and is good and makes up for it. But it didn't spark any interest in me, even as a big Lord of the Rings fan. I just like wasn't into it. But this, to me, because this looks really different. It's like
it looks like it's a separate
anime movie. It is a separate. Well, it's of course within the same IP, but it's like a creatively different take on it.
Yeah,
which is cool to me. But if any of you have watched the show and want to like shout it out and tell me that I should watch it, maybe it is good, because a lot of those shows I write off because I think they're cash grabby, but like maybe they do actually have cool people who care about it working on them. I don't really know, because I'm really enjoying the Dune show actually right now, which typically is something that I would
watching it. I
would shit on, like being like, I don't fucking need this, but I'm like, I'm kind of into the pussy magic Bene Gesserit Dune show. You got me. I'll
give it a couple more minutes.
But yeah, there's a new Lord of the Rings animated. If you didn't know about it, I don't know if it'll be in all theaters. I think it like probably will be select. But yeah, the War of the Rohirrim, coming to maybe a theater near you.
That's what's up.
But from the whole movie, do we want to fuck humanoids? Because I mean,
I'm fucking Smaug.
Yeah, I think I might want to marry Smaug, because I might want to lay in that port of gold with him and just sort of hang out.
Can we be friends with benefits?
Right? Or, well, like, friends with gold benefits. I want to be able to leave.
Sugar Daddy Smaug. Yeah.
Smaug. Yeah, he's like, I'll, like, scratch behind his ears. I'm sure he'll really like that. He'll, like, flip me a gold doubloon. That would be sick. That would be perfect. So that sounds like a marriage. That sounds like a marriage to me.
I'm gonna fuck him.
That sounds like a marriage to me. I scratch his head and he gives me $1.
Yeah. Gosh. Hold on, sorry.
But specifically the dwarf that they made really hot in the live action ones was Feely and Keely. They had the two of them, but they had they were like, one of these needs to attract the young ladies. But I cannot really say that any of the dwarves were particularly doing it for me. But I will say Elrond, the elf at Riverdale, who shows them how to hold the map up to the moonlight.
Yeah, I do like him.
You can get it.
He'd probably be my Mary. I'd marry him, fuck Smaug.
Yep.
And kill... I'm gonna kill the elf that came last, like, showed up with his army, and he was like, fuck y'all.
Right, but honestly, though, when the 5 armies did show up, and they were like, we want reparations for what Smaug has done, and Thorin was like, I'm the king under the mountain, I kind of was like, maybe you should give them reparations, because there is way more gold than anyone needs.
Yeah.
What if we just is that the lesson? Probably. What if we just divvy up this gold and everyone is happy and no one dies?
Yeah. There we
Seems
go.
correct. Yeah, that is the
I
lesson.
think we just figured it out.
Whoa, my freaking 6-year-old brain just cracked wide open. I understand. War is bad. Be like Bilbo. Hide behind a rock. Get your bag and leave.
Yeah, dip.
Dodge the draft. Write a book. Hide away. Go home.
Speaking of, once you get home from your adventure, which is picking up your friends and bringing them to your house for a viewing of this, what are you feeding them?
So this is really complicated, actually, because I think I need to sort of treat this whole month like a feast. Because to me, this can just be a precursor, but like if you're doing a Lord of the Rings movie marathon, you can plan an intricate and lengthy menu, bitch, throughout the entire thing. So I'm like, we might as well just start here. And to me, this movie has to be breakfast because we're starting, but then at a very critical moment, there also will be second breakfast. So you have to have first breakfast in order for there to be second breakfast. So we're doing first breakfast with this movie because I'm like, it'll be cozy and we're like getting into things. And because I'm planning for a big spread ahead, we can't keep it light. There's nothing light about Hobbit food. There's nothing light about Lord of the Rings fare. But if we're going to pace ourselves, I think we start with like a beautiful pastry spread, some croissants and jam, a nice butter, get the Kerrygold, splurge on the Kerrygold, and like a good local bakery that you like and get just some like breakfasty pastry type good Danish goodness. And then that and just like some tea or coffee, like a hot bevy. I want like a flaky croissant with some jam and butter and like a hot cup of something in my hand for this movie. That's how we're kicking off the marathon, bitch. What do you think?
I also agree. I want something hot in my hand. I am not as familiar with the Hobbit food and day-to-day, meals as them. So I agreed because I know this is the start of a long process. I want to start at the beginning. So I wanted to start at the beginning of a dinner. So your bread and soup courses, I'm going to say you do a French onion soup in a bread bowl.
Correct. Ooh, that is correct as well. Yes. And is that your drink and your food? The food is the soup bowl. The drink is the soup.
No, the drink is going to be like I don't know. Because do you start with... No, the drink is going to be like something a little champagne-y, I think, actually. Something nice and light and bubbly. Right. Maybe like... I don't want to say a French 75 or something like that, but just like honestly,
just too classy.
Yeah, like throw like a slice of orange in your champagne and like just sit down and eat it and have it with your, I don't know.
Obsessed.
I was gonna say a stout, but I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I'm already gonna be farting the entire movie after having my bread bowl,
my French
onion soup bread bowl, which is gonna have so much cheese on it too.
I want the cheese on the top to be like an inch
yes,
and a
exactly.
half thick.
Exactly, you get it.
I want there to be Swiss. I want there to be Gruyere, and I want there to be a secret third thing at least.
Exactly.
A parm, maybe.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, something really sharp to cut through. A little nutty. But yeah, I can't in good faith, in good conscience, tell you to have a stout with that. Because, save it for the end. But I think you'd go like something nice and light. Like a light sparkling wine.
Sure. I love that. And then, I mean, of course... Sort of what do you follow this up with is almost like moot for this month because it is a contained thing. So let's just, I'm writing that off. Of course, what you should watch next is Lord of the Rings, whatever. Yes. But all of that aside, the things that I said, of course, come to mind as well are Labyrinth. I want to watch Labyrinth so bad after this. The Dark Crystal. The movie, I love the TV show. Oh my god, not to get into a crazy side tangent, but are you on like Muppet
History?
Are you on the Muppet History?
Yes. Oh my god. I have no idea what drama is going on, but I've been seeing the posts.
If you guys don't know, Muppet History, like at Muppet History, is like a pretty popular social media account across several platforms, I believe. Like Twitter, Instagram, They have a few, but I think it's mainly everything that I've seen has been on Twitter, like blowing up for the most part.
Really? I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen the posts that they've made on Instagram.
The notes app apology.
What happened?
I follow them, of course, because I'm a Muppet ass bitch, and I saw this notes app apology, and I'm like, I need to get to the bottom of this.
Let's deep dive.
Basically, so from Spark Notes edition, go look into this yourself if you're interested in like social media drama. But the people who, and again, this is like just from what I've read on Twitter, not official sources, but the official Muppets history account, which is not officially related to Disney in any way. I think it's just this husband and wife.
It's a fan page, yeah.
It's a husband and wife who run it together, and the husband has been sending questionable DMs, sexually charged and flirtatious DMs to multiple people who have come forward and been like, not chill, no, do not like that. And so basically then he's like roping his wife into this fuck-ass notes app apology. And it was so vague. It was like, we're always learning and growing, and you guys calling us out is always like a space for us to look inwards. And I was like, what the fuck could they possibly be talking about? Like the vaguest topical language of like, we're sorry to those we have hurt, and we will grow and learn. I'm like, say a noun, like say a topic, say a thing, right?
One thing,
say one concrete thing. And it was that he was being creepy through DMs to girls, of course.
You can't even trust the fucking Muppets guy.
But that's everyone is like, oh my god, it is so dire out here for us that you can't even trust the guy who runs the Muppet account. Muppets that is based off of the philosophy of like kindness and generosity and
truly
purity.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. But hashtag canceled Muppets history.
God damn it.
What the hell? And the whole thing is that I bet it really would not have been as big of a deal if they hadn't put out that fucking like notes app ass apology, because it's just I think it's over for them, surely. I mean,
you'd have to assume.
It'll blow over in 2 days, if anything.
Yeah,
that's how men get away with everything. But I've been cracking up at all of the Muppet history drama.
That's actually so funny to hear, now that you've like given the context.
But shouts out to Jim Henson, who, as far as I know, was pretty chill. And shouts out to his daughter, who helped produce the Dark Crystal TV show that you can watch on Netflix that I think is really good.
Very sick.
That's my suggestion. But now that you talk about all those like old Rankin and Bass movies, like I kind of want to watch A Year Without a Santa Claus, Heat Miser, Snow Miser,
classic,
and old ass Frosty the Snowman. Happy birthday! Like icon. So that as well.
Yeah, I am gonna tell you though, if you do want to pivot and not do Hobbit, go watch old Scooby-Doo. Yeah,
some red t-shirt, shaggy Scooby-Doo.
Yes, dog. Yes, exactly.
I love that. And then out of 10, what'd you think?
7. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this actually, and I did not expect to. And
I'm glad that you're stepping in on a positive note, a good headspace, because
I'm excited.
It's gonna get a lot. The pacing though is nice in this series, I find, because each movie gets a bit more. So you kind of are introduced to the setting with the characters. So it eases you into it as much as it can.
This was a really good call. This one looped me up as much as it simply could. So I'm ready, and now I'm going into this month with a good mindset. So I'm excited.
And I'm excited to watch you watch them. You know, I'm like the fucking freak watching somebody else watch the movie.
Yeah, we're gonna be sitting there having some big meals this month. We're not fucking around. So
second breakfast, third breakfast, fourth breakfast. Yeah. It's all breakfast, baby.
I might have to make a pot roast. So
my god. Nothing
short
makes
ribs.
Me wanna, oh my god, short ribs and potatoes.
Oh, let's do some short ribs. Yeah, actually, I'll make this happen.
Hell yeah. Parsley, rosemary, thyme, herbs, spices, getting it in there. So shouts out to all of you. Thank you so much for listening. Sorry the pod has been, whatever lately, but whatever.
The
We're
pod's the
chilling.
pod. What do you
The
mean?
pod is the pod. Well, our audio
I'm
last
having a
week.
good time.
Our audio last week
was
was
it fucked?
so bad. It was so bad. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Sorry about our Freebirds episode. I was like, it's Freebirds. Who cares? I'm like, I fucked it up, but it was Freebirds. So hopefully this is a little bit improved. But thank you all for listening. You can find our socials and everything in the description below. Lord of the Rings month. If you have any like Lord of the Rings trivia, facts, questions, anything you want to like contribute to our themed Lord of the Rings month, we would love to hear from you. If you love it, if you hate it, whatever. We're gonna try to, talk about all of it because there is some questionable and problematic shit to the Lord of the Rings series that definitely needs to be addressed as well. So don't think that this is all flowers and roses from us because I am critical of this series as well.
As we should be.
Throwing that out there. Hence me shouting out that this new movie has a female character in it at all. I'm like, oh my god, the protagonist is a girl? That's crazy. They've never even put a girl in, with speaking lines who wasn't Liv Tyler. Like, that's crazy. Kate Blanchett and Liv Tyler. They get to speak. Go. And that's it. But anyways, thank you for listening. We love you all. May the hair on your toes never fall out. And goodbye and good night.